Parisa, thank you very much for taking out time this afternoon to be with us. Parisa Zorabian is a Mumbai University gold medalist, trained with Western classical ballet, a trained actor from the Lee Strasberg Institute in New York, and an MBA in marketing from the City University of New York as well. Having created a unique niche for herself as an actress in independent offbeat cinema, Parizad is now a full-time director of sales, marketing, and distribution of her family business, Zorabian Chicken. Under her leadership, the Zorabian brand has become a pan-India brand synonymous with a range of premium quality chicken products. A mother, an actor, an entrepreneur, Parizad plays a very important role for herself and her family with passion and epitomizes the modern Indian woman of today. Thank you, Parizad. Shanik, should we start the
Please.
event? You're on mute, Parizad. So, you want to unmute yourself?
Parizad, we need you to unmute.
So thanks, Sameer, for that introduction. Thanks so much.
So what we're going to do is we have 20 minutes. We're going to ask you some brief questions. And post that, we're going to open it to our members who can ask you questions for themselves. So, Parizad, tell us about yourself. You had a wonderful journey in Bollywood. And dare I say, briefly, but you made a mark. Tell us how you stumbled upon this path.
So, Sameer, very briefly, I've always been someone as a little girl who's enjoyed the performing arts. So, I did ballet for 12 years, always on elocution and stage. So I think, I never ever realized that I would be an actor one day. I think all of that happened quite incidentally when a model coordinator called Mona Irani saw me at Navjot, offered me Fair and Lovely, and things kind of just, then Bollywood Calling was a film she asked me to audition for. And, I think happened to be at the right time, at the right place, and was fortunate enough to have all these offbeat movies that started at that point of time where most of my films were in English, thank God for that. So I think it was just really being at the right place at the right time and haven't gotten the right opportunities. And I had a great set of parents who kind of let me, pursue my dreams. Because I went to the US, I got an MBA, I did all of that. And then to tell them I want to do a movie, my dad honestly said, ha, jaine ek picture karine aav, not realizing, none of us, I think, realized that, I would have a career as an actor. And, I took one day at a time, worked on films that kind of I related to, connected with, and it was fantastic. It was, I did 13 odd films, didn't really kind of do any major Bollywood numbers. Of course, Jarvis Park is a Bollywood classic now in terms of...
So let me interject there. You worked with veterans like Om Puri,
right.
Victor Banerjee, Shabana Azmi, and the famous Mr. Bachchan, of course, for Ek Ajnabi.
Right.
So how was your experience working with these veterans? Any particular highlight of any one of them? Because I know these are all offbeat movies that you've done.
So, my first film was with Om Puri. And it was one of just the most iconic actors, right? He's such a solid actor. And to just be with him on set was such a great learning experience. But you always thought, okay, Om Puri was this, arty actor. But when I worked with Mr. Bachchan and I saw the same kind of process, the same kind of discipline, the same kind of structure, the same kind of effort that he put in through Ek Ajnabi, it was really a huge, learning experience, right? Whether to Shabana Azmi again, the way she would kind of rehearse and work on every line, the kind of effort they all put in is something that everyone thinks, being an actor is just, looking glamorous and kind of, having a bare some bare skill sets. But really to be a great actor, you need to have so much more. And I think discipline with your craft plays a really important role. So each one is special.
How was the feeling to see yourself on the hoarding in the city for the first time?
So it was strange. Pritish Nandi, this Bollywood Calling only had actually Om Puri on the poster. That's how Nagesh had planned it. And Pritish Nandi looked at it and said, no, we need the girl. Where's the girl? And of course, he changed the creatives last minute. We didn't even shoot. They took a portfolio picture of mine and kind of flashed it on the poster. And Om Puri didn't stop teasing me about it. But it was awesome to see, posters all across, bus backs, everything which had, my face on it. It gives you a huge high. It felt lovely.
So you mentioned it was a glamorous career, and then one fine day you suddenly entered your father's poultry business.
Because I'm
What was
Murgi
the
Wali
scene
and selling chicken.
So how did that happen straight away? Tell us.
So Sameer, when you asked me at 7 what I wanted to be, I had an uncle who did his MBA at Cornell, and I would say entrepreneur, without even kind of, so I wasn't that typical girl who would say, I want to be an air hostess, or I want to, I would say entrepreneur because I idolize my dad. And I think I wanted to always, work with him. And that's why I went to the US to do my MBA. And, every, entrepreneurship course or anything that I did, I'd be studying Tyson and Purdue, and I want to be the Purdue of India. And the whole dream was always to do Zorabian. The acting kind of, came in the way of that. And, once I was married, Zorabian was kind of seeing a really, really rough time. So I was, I took that opportunity to come in. And what started as a small assignment to design packaging for Zorabian, kind of turned into a full-fledged job with launching their entire retail business. And I think it's something that happened with me just, again, stepping in to help Dad because we were really, really at that point on the verge of bankruptcy and going through a really tough time. And I was pregnant, I couldn't bear just being this housewife at home, and I stepped in, and it was the most game-changing thing in my life.
So did you leave Bollywood at that point of time and join the business right away, or were you doing both?
So, after I got married, I continued doing television and I did theater. But I stopped acting in movies the day I got married because I was pregnant too much later.
But did Baman say no more movies for you?
We planned it perfectly, So I think Baman and me were very clear with just kind of the only way to pin me down was to kind of make sure that, we started a family soon enough. And of course, I got married late, so that was my priority. And I started working with Zorabian after my son was born. So that's when I started 12 years ago, and it's been 12 incredible years.
So you're now an entrepreneur, as you say, and just catching on to the word.
Economic Times best brand, and there's all of that glamorous stuff.
I see all of that. So tell me, with the poultry business, I know a little bit about it because we had a family business in poultry for many years. And with the bird flu and the kind of business and the low margins that poultry has, how did you make it up so differently? Because from what I hear and what I see is that your business is taken on to being available at top retail outlets. You managed to fix that very well. Given Venkateshwara Hatcheries with Venky's as a very big brand, and to kill that brand to get Zorabian neck to neck. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, so when I started working with Dad the second time around, so I came back from the US and I was working with him. And at that point, I was handling, purchases and, basic small things because I was a young little girl. But when I came back, like I said, Zorabian was facing the toughest time. All, like you said, all mid-sized farmers, of his time who were kings at that point of time were all kind of finished and over with. It was tough to kind of survive in a market where we could no longer play the game of the large economies of scale because the larger companies that came in kind of could offer chicken at such a great price in comparison to us. It was really tough to survive in the wholesale space. So the only way to kind of beat the odds was to kind of launch ourselves in the retail space where the consumer would kind of know us and pay for the quality that we were offering. And quality was our only was the only thing that set us apart, right? And we have a completely vertically integrated farm. We grow our birds. We know what we're feeding our birds. So it's like the best quality chicken there is. Now, when you sell it to a big hotel and butter chicken, they don't care. Everything becomes all about price at that point. But when it goes into a consumer's home, they want a great quality product, right? Because they see it, they cook it, they feel it, they know how good it is. And I think because of Dr. Dash from Reliance, we took that step down, to enter the retail space, and it's been an addictive journey because like an actor gets fame and success. I think once your consumer loves your product, it's like a high. It's never ending.
So you didn't
And
have
of
to
course,
spend
we've
money.
kind of grown it. We've grown
You
it,
didn't,
right?
you didn't have to spend money on your publicity. You did a very good job at that.
Huh? Now no one looks at me and says, "Listen, don't come. Why don't you come back into acting?" They're all like, "Parizad," and I look at them, like twiddling my eyes, thinking they'd say something nice, and they'd say, "We love your chicken. It's just so good." And I'm like, seriously, no one misses the actor. They're very, very happy with the chicken. And we've
So,
done some amazing work at Zorabian. So I think we've always stayed up, in terms of our value offerings, right? So our ready-to-cook range is amazingly delicious. We have a great culinary background with Baba Zest and all the Parsi food. So I'm just saying, so we've used all our strengths and kind of, we've stood apart and we've become successful, I think, because of our unique offerings, which the others aren't able
let's
to.
get a little technical. The poultry business has two aspects of it,
Right.
as you know. One is a layer farm, where you have birds who lay eggs and we get the eggs from there.
Right.
And the other is a broiler farm.
Right.
The knowledge of all our members. And the broiler farm, is when we get to eat the broiler chicken and not the layer chicken because they're very hardened and tough given they lay eggs. So what sort of farm do you have? Is it a layer farm and a broiler farm now? Or is it a hybrid or?
So we only have a broiler farm. So we have our parent birds, which are our breeder birds. We have our own hatchery, our own feed mill, our own processing units, our own ready-to-cook plant, and we do all our own distribution.
So
when
eggs.
you look at
No eggs.
I'm sorry. No, so we
So
don't do eggs. We only do chicken, right? But we have the entire chain in our control, and that's when you can use no preservative. That's when you can kind of not have birds that are pumped with vaccinations, and you can give them feed that's all natural. When you have everything under your control, are you able to kind of when you have your biosecurity in your hand, only then can you kind of claim to not be putting any additional medicine in their feed and trying to keep it all natural. Otherwise, with livestock, it's very, very difficult to do it as clean as us. If you don't have the entire chain in your hand, it becomes really difficult.
So a quick line on your work-life balance. Sorry.
A quick line on work-life balance.
Tell us a
there
little
is
bit
no
about
work-life balance. There isn't. I think I'm. My husband will always say, for Parizad, it's her children. Of course, I'm a tiger mother, and I think their grades and exams and all are so important to me. They're part of a great school, and I feel so blessed. I kind of push them even harder. So I think Baman says that they're my children. Then there's Zorabian, and Baman kind of comes at number 3, which is not true, but he believes that. So I don't strike a very good work-life balance. I'm not someone who's able to kind of spend time with my friends as much. I'm always, socially, I'm just like terrible. I'm never there at most things because I'm just too tired and exhausted. So it's my health kind of took a beating last year. Through COVID and the stress, and I put on loads of weight. So I really. So whilst I've achieved a lot of success, I think with Zorabian as well, and I think personally, I need to kind of really get my act together with striking that balance.
So,
and being able to
no withdrawal symptoms to go back to Bollywood.
Give me the time with the kind of stress this chicken is giving me. Sometimes I feel, gosh, I should have been an actor.
So
if I had time, I just wish.
Given that you don't have the time, Parizad, given that you don't have the time, we are going to treat you like an actor for now in the next 5 minutes, after which obviously we'll keep it open to the floor.
Right.
So I prepared something small for you, and you have to answer these questions in 5 seconds. So we make you feel like a actor, at least, if not in a movie.
Like I'm on a Karan Johar show.
Absolutely. So we'll give you that chance with us.
Okay.
And post that, of course, we'll open it to the floor.
Right.
So you have to answer this exactly in 5 seconds and not more.
Right.
And of course, I'll tell you how we fare at the end of it.
Right.
So, shall we start?
Yes.
So, box office or box chicken?
So our chicken's never boxed, right? It's wrapped with a fresh cling wrap. So I'm going to say box office. Box office.
Apri Rani ke Apro Piano?
Aprusu?
Apro Rani ke Apro Piano?
Apru Rani.
Rani. Your dream character role.
Bridges of Madison County, Meryl Streep.
The one word that describes you best.
Passionate.
You get high on.
Hard work.
The last movie that made you cry.
The Sky is Pink.
What message would you give to budding entrepreneurs, since you like the word?
That there's no magic formula. It's it requires a lot of hard work. To imagine that there will never be adversity. You always think you'll achieve this much success and then life is going to get easy. It never gets easier. The higher you climb, the tougher the blows you get, and it's just something that you have to just learn to deal with.
A little bird says you like to read a lot. So what would you name your autobiography as?
Queen Murgi Wali.
Rank your best film to date, or name it.
A Joggers Park, for sure.
Favorite co-star?
Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay, and the last question, the one law you would like to break if you get away with it.
The one law I'd like to break
If you
and
get away with it. I have to ask you a lawyer question.
That's such a good
No.
girl, man.
You want to be perfect?
I wish I could eat and not become fat, but that's not a law, really.
Okay, so that's fair enough. Good, you did well. You did. You get an
Thank
8
you,
on 10.
Sameer.
8 on 10, not 10 on 10, because one
Why
was a
8
long
on
answer.
10?
Minus marks for giving long answers. So there you go for
I'm
that.
sorry.
Okay, so thank you for that. I'm going to open it to the floor and ask. We have some questions here. Mudit, you want to ask a question?
Yes. Thank you, Parizad. You have straddled both careers very well, both in
Thank you.
acting and in being an entrepreneur. My question is a little different. We say these are creative pursuits, acting as well as being entrepreneur. However, acting is all cut and paste, and even business in India is full of bureaucracy and government approvals. So how are they really creative, or what's your take, or what do you want to say? Thank you.
So, I'm sorry. So what the question is?
My question is, are they really creative professions, acting and being an entrepreneur? Or they're just sound sexy by calling them attractive?
So I think being an actor is definitely not cut and paste, because the same character could be played by two different people very, very differently. And I think you'll always bring a part of you, to every performance that you give. So that's definitely not cut and paste. It can be edited, and I think the edit always messes you up because it's tougher. In fact, it's always easier to be an actor on stage because it's your flow that they take in one shot. In terms of an entrepreneur, also, I think everything that you do, right, reflects your choices, the kind of person that you are, and so there are loads of people selling chicken, right? But the way we choose to sell our chicken, the way we choose to grow our chicken, the way we do what we do is definitely different from what the others are doing. So I think there's an individual voice to that as well. And I think I definitely don't think in either of the two professions, anything that we do is cut and paste for sure. The way we communicate, the way we kind of, the way we function is so different. I'm just being bullied by one of my big distributors, for example, right now, who's fighting with another Chodu, who was his ex-partner. Now he's like, you either do this or do that. I'm going to just tell him to buzz off, right? Because that's not how, I don't want to, would you bully like another large company for this? So I'm just saying, so that's my voice, right? As the brand, nothing's going to be cut and dry and cut and paste for me.
Thank you. Satyan, you have a question?
Yeah. Parizad, you are really inspiring. I love the fact how you transitioned so smoothly from acting to entrepreneurship. And I must compliment you on your chicken. It's a Saturday staple for us. My son and I, we love the leg pieces. They're the freshest and juiciest.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. You made my day. We're going through a really hard time currently. We had some floods get us down. So really, when we came back, our customers kind of took us on with so much of love. And it feels so great to hear this from you because we walk a tough path. And to be appreciated feels great. Thank you, Satyan.
Not at all. That's the best chicken I've had.
I love you. Thank you.
The thing is that once you've tasted the real meat, what is your take on plant-based meats now?
So, everyone's been telling me that, don't put your head in the sand, think of kind of, look at alternative plant-based meat as well. It's going to be something that, you kind of, it will be a threat to the industry at some point of time. So I'm not a big fan of anything synthetic. So all of that has a lot of, it may not be meat, but it has so much of the other stuff added onto it. So my brother, in fact, who runs the farm, is vegan. And his take is, if we were ever to do something vegetarian, it would be real food. It wouldn't be synthetic, substitute food. So I think as a company, the choice is very clear. We'll do chicken, and Shahzad would love to kind of have a whole agro line. So he's like, if you want to feed someone the real thing in terms of like a vegetarian line, right? But he's not a big fan of doing anything, and he handles the back end. All the production is his, so that he's definitely not going to do that.
Great.
He thinks that's going to be a whole lot of garbage. So, that he has his views, and I'm going to respect that.
Sorry, the next question is from Vita. I think she has bad net worth, but she
And
mentioned
Peter happens to be my forum buddy. I want to see what her question's going to be.
Okay, I don't know. What she said, we went through a tough time recently with floods in a factory. We would like to tell you how to deal with this tough situation. I don't know. Is that something she wants you to share?
So, Vita, of course, is my forum buddy, and she knows we were flooded on the 22nd of July, and it was tough because there was no fresh chicken for 1 week in Bombay to any of our suppliers and any of our partners, and we were their sole vendor. And it's in times of adversity, you find some of your greatest learnings about how people stand by you, and how relationships and karma comes. It all comes right back. We had people like Big Bazaar and big malls kind of not without me even asking, paying their money, giving us releasing their funds in advance just to support us through that time. Our customers were like rock solid for us. There was some fake nonsense rumors being spread around about Zorabian products being contaminated and some load of garbage that competition was doing. And our customers took it all, right? I mean, I had like the CEO of Nature's Basket saying, listen, Parizad, let's figure out how, we're standing by you. So I think my greatest learning, Vita, through all adversity is that, when you do good, good comes back. And that's, I'm the biggest believer in that post this.
Thank you. Anyone
Thank
else?
you.
Pali? Sorry,
Thank
go on,
you,
Shani.
Parizad. You've given us the most charming speech. We've really enjoyed listening to you. Very charming.
Samir told me it all has to be really short because we have only that much time, and I've tried to kind of say as much as I could, as fast as I could. I hope I made sense.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of time still, so we're still going to keep asking you questions.
Thank you.
Parizad, I wanted to know, the talk about antibiotics in chicken, and a lot of us have stopped eating chicken because of that.
Right.
How do you prevent the bird flu and all that if you don't inject your birds?
So, so that's the beauty of having your own parent farm, right? So we have our own breeder farm. So disease and a lot of stuff comes in when you buy like the egg from outside. So you don't know what disease the parent is holding, and then to take care of your flock, you have to put some amount of antibiotics in their feed. But when the parent is yours, you have the control of the parent bird in your hand, right? Even the day-old chicks get hatched in, disease can even come at the hatchery level. That again is something that we have of our own. So when you have that entire chain, and like the hatchery, I've probably not stepped into it for the last 12 years, right? Because nobody can enter it. I can't go to the breeder farm and go to the broiler farm on the same day. They're all separate farms. So when you have this kind of biosecurity in place, you can afford to not be putting antibiotics in your feed, right? When you have your own distribution, you have your cold chain under your control. So we have reefer vans that are going all across Bombay. So our chicken doesn't have to sit in something called STTP, which is a government-approved, preservative to just, keep the freshness of the chicken alive, right? We have our own ice plants where even the ice that the chicken sits in to get chilled and to bring the right core temperature, even that ice is made by us so that it's not sitting in some junk ice made by someone else where the water is contaminated, which can go into the chicken. So that's the madness of my brother Shahzad, who runs the farm, and that's why Zorabian is at a relatively higher premium because of all the stuff that we do, and that's what kind of makes it different.
But why are you not then projecting more of that it's more like an
I
organic?
mean, it's everywhere. It's on the packet. It's on the branding. It's every single place. And, it's like, it's everybody else is doing cut, copy, paste. And I'm like, seriously, really? Do you even grow your own chicken? It's on your packet, but do you even grow your own chicken? How would you know that? So we have it across everywhere. I mean, even if you pick up a Zorabian tray pack, it's on the tray pack. Preservative-free, antibiotic-free, hormone-free. Shahzad won't, besides corn and soya, corn and makkah, Shahzad won't even give a weight gainer. In poultry, everything's about feed conversion ratios. So, the faster the bird grows eating less, the more money you make. He won't even do that. Because in the end, what you eat is what you are, right? So,
That's wonderful to hear.
It's my brother, it's not me. He's amazing. He's such a purist, he hates killing animals. So he's just like, if you're taking a life, it better be like you better be giving them good quality meat. Shahzad and me, I love him, I respect him, but we're completely at loggerheads because he's so, he's like the Buddha. He's just so, he's his highest quality, my highest, the sale, the number, kind of kicking ass, market share, his is, doing things right. So I think my father has a good balance in the both of us.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
Wish you all the very, very best.
Thank you.
Hope your
Thank you. That
brand
means a lot.
grows. You've started doing other products as well, right?
Yeah, so we have a whole ready-to-cook range as well. And that was my father's dream, right? So the sheikh kebabs and sausages and salami and, there's a burger patty. So our burger patties may not taste that great because we don't have the automated line still. But it's all meat. So when you're eating a burger patty from Zorabian, you're having chicken. You're not having soya and anything else that's in it. If the sheikh kebab breaks in your pan sometimes, it's because there's no preservative in it. So it's those are the sheikh kebab sometimes is a bit drier than the others because charbi nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's all of those things. But I mean, touch wood, everyone loves our products.
So you have a kind of kitchen or something that gives a.
We have a whole ISO certified unit that is just amazing. It started off so small and it's kind of grown into such a phenomenal unit, which it got flooded. Every machine we bought after so much of work, right? From the Indian machines progressing to the foreign machines, and anyway, but we were working towards getting all of that back on track.
Wish you the very, very best.
Thank you, Shahnaz. Thank you. Thank you.
So we don't think we are not going to see Parizad in a movie soon.
So my kids want me to. Baman is like, babe, you should do like one movie a year. As if it's like the easiest thing to do. I think Shahnaz, I think I'm a bit of a I think it's tough starting again, right? So if you have to ask me honestly, it takes a whole different skill set. I've taken a long break. So I think if something comes into my lap, I would look at it. But if it's some chichat-pichat role in some, I won't do it because I have so much more happening and more at stake with me at Zorabian. But I think if something spectacular comes my way, I think I would. But am I open to it? Am I pursuing it? Do I have the courage to kind of go all out there? No. I'm being a bit of a coward in that way. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
Finally, how did you lose so much weight?
I've lost little weight right now. Right now, because on April 1st, I joined the gym. And, Baman was saying that I have a teenage daughter. And Baman was like, she's watching you, right? And you're not setting the best example. And I was not a happy person being 13 kilos heavier, right? I was just, I anyway don't have time. I didn't want to go out. And, clothes didn't look nice on me. I didn't look like a patch of what I used to look like. And I, I was, menopausing, I was feeling low and depressed with my weight. So I think I finally kind of, September 1st, I did this Economic Times award, which I hosted with Baman Irani. And I was such a cow. I said, I will only do it if I have a podium covering half my body. And I was having my hair cover all the fat on my shoulder. And then I saw myself on screen after so long. And my face looked this fat. I looked hideous. I won the best, we won the most trusted brands. And I went on stage and the only thing I could wear was jeans and one auntie like white shirt, and I was like, I'm on stage with that award and I look like a pale version of who I was, right? And I think both those events back to back, and I think Baman telling me that about Zaha, kind of, everything kind of came in together. And I went, I took my health in control, zipped my mouth a bit, not a bit, a lot. Yeah. And I lost a sizable amount of weight. I still have halfway to go. Post the floods, I have lost track completely. Today I went to the gym and I said, I'm going to get my act back together.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good for
Too
you.
much personal information I'm giving you all, right? The guys will be like, do we want to know about your menopause? We don't, right? But yeah, too much information. Sameer Fali's shaking his head saying, nahi, Zorabian, nahi.
Fali, you have a question or you know it all?
Fali knows it all.
It will be a very personal question, so I'd rather not hear it.
Quickly, Fali. All bark, no bite, Fali.
Wait till I tell your competitor.
Don't you dare.
So I think, Sameer, if we do not have any more questions,
Yes.
we'd let Parizad go. Parizad, any last words to us?
Nothing, thank you. I always complain about I was such a why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? But I always go into that frenzy. And when I do have these conversations, I go back feeling a lot more energized. So I think I'd like to thank Vita for insisting I do this, and Sameer for kind of really wonderful to have you kind of moderate this. It's fab.
Pleasure.
And I look forward to meeting all of you in person. It's so great to see some faces. And Mudit, thanks for saying there's more for you to like. I like that. I'm reading that chat, So thank you guys. Thank you so much. And
Thank
take
you.
care, Akshay. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love
Akshay?
and have a great meeting. Right?
Akshay, I'd like you to say the vote of thanks, please.
Thank you so much, Parizad, for an afternoon so well spent, effervescent, honest, and charming. I think that's, I can use these three adjectives to describe this afternoon. Having known you as a friend, I've not really heard your entrepreneurial journey. And I think it just amazed me how you've overcome so many odds and really made a mark for yourself. I can assure you two things. One is that a lot of us today are going to buy your chicken after this. And second is that Queen Murgi Wali will become a bestseller. So we really look forward to that too. As a token of our appreciation for the afternoon spent with us, we will on your behalf plant 10 fruit-bearing trees at Nilmati Dandwal Gram Panchayat in Maharashtra. And the
Shahzad will be so happy knowing that. Thank you.
certificate will be sent to you shortly. So please do share it with him.